Sir, what are we doing here? Minuscule circle, you ask too many questions. How many times have I told you, do not question anything about what we do? We needed a break from the Cave of Delusion, because I've heard rumors that Kevin Costner is lurking around this area somewhere. There's been the moolahs that's been splashed. So we're looking for Kevin Costner. Sir, it's not real. He doesn't actually live here. What? He's not actually real. Of course he's real. He's messaged. Right? Right?
I am almost positive it's him. He said, "You are my fiance, we are engaged, and we are going to get married."
This woman thinks she's in a relationship with acting legend Kevin Costner.
I joined some Kevin Costner clubs, and he said, "Shelley, I'm the real deal."
She says she's 90% convinced that this is the real Kevin Costner.
He wanted me to deposit some checks in my bank electronically. I said, "Okay." He said, "You can keep some of the money."
Where's she
Join us
looking?
on another episode of Scamfish.
She's been through 20 different banks.
I'm worried I'm going to go to jail.
We'll dive into whether she's communicating with the real Kevin Costner.
She has an attorney friend she spoke to about it. They're claiming it's a 50-50 chance that this is really Kevin.
I'm glad I've paused it on this freeze frame in particular. What is happening, man? Look, we're already 42 seconds in and my blood is boiling and this ain't healthy. I'll show you guys something right now. Can you see here? Well, let me look at that. Can you see the time right now? I couldn't sleep and the Cave of Delusion kept whispering to me. So here I am in this chair right now on a wacky adventure, some might say. The Kevin Costner pictures being used right now, goodness me, if that's the pictures the scammers are using, then we've lost all hope in society, because they are very much not how Kevin looks now. Then, 20 different banks. You're taking the mick, and my name's not Michael, because what do you mean after the first bank account probably got shut down? You're thinking, goodness, what's going on here? What's Kevin doing to me? And then your attorney friend. We're going to get into that a little bit later. But if this is a genuine attorney and you didn't find them in the back alleys of a Temu warehouse or something, you have a strange circle around you. Okay? And I'm going to now shamelessly plug another Kevin Costner story that we covered. Check the pinned comment if it's very significantly worse in quality than the newer stuff. I apologize.
Huh? Or a Kevin imposter?
Yes.
He said, "You're going to have to pay a meet and greet fee." And then I said, "I don't pay to meet men." I said, "Gigolos do that."
Oh.
Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe.
Go do
Your
that.
Engagement with our videos help us reach new audiences and can potentially stop other people from being scammed.
But here they are.
All right, team, so we're back with another case. This is an email from a woman named Shelley who's writing in about a celebrity. I'll read the email. "Dear Catfish team, I believe I am talking to the actor Kevin Costner, but the situation has become overwhelming. We have been communicating online for over a year, and he recently asked me for $7,000 to secure a lease and live with him in California. The problem is that I have had accounts closed at 4 different banks after checks he sent me were flagged as fraudulent."
Yeah, we can zoom in as much as we want. Nothing gets clearer. I don't think that's the issue here. The banks are closing my account. So I think the issue here is that you believe an actor, a celebrity, someone who's likely got the moolahs in the bank, wants anything to do with you as a regular, degular, schmegular human being. Let's get a grip of ourselves here, shall we? The celebrity stories, really drive a pole up my ass, because I struggle to believe this many people have that much of an ego on them to believe that a celebrity wants anything to do with them. But I say that, it doesn't surprise me in this world how many people think very highly of themselves. But let's carry on.
"I'm asking you to investigate so I can find out whether this is the real Kevin Costner. Sincerely, Shelley."
Get a grip.
I'm Shelley, and I am 68 years old.
Why'd she take off her glasses?
And I am Living in Durham, North Carolina. I have since high school. My stepfather dragged us here whenever he was promoted to vice president of General Telephone here from Santa Monica, California. And I've been here ever since. I'm a retired nurse and I was a social worker. So no, I am not working now.
Listen, you can scramble the screen as much. That's my brain rat. Where'd the cat come from? The cat just randomly appeared. She took off her glasses as if she meant business, yeah? I'm going to tell you all about my Kevin Costner lover, and you're going to listen to me. If you've ever seen that trend where people say, this is XYZ, they're going to tell you something, and you're going to listen because it's important. And that's the cat. They're doing the trend. This is so funny. It's hilarious stuff, honestly. Best content. Best content on YouTube. If I seem maybe off the ball at any point, you know, one, Shelley has struck me in the head with a shell because we're in Mario Kart. That's funny. You have to forgive me. As I showed you, it's really early and no relevance.
About 4 years ago, I had thyroid cancer and they had to snip out my throat, my thyroid. I had 2 eye surgeries. I had a tumor in my nose, in my sinus, which they had to cut out, and oral surgery. So that took a toll on me. I like get-togethers with lots of friends. I belong to a lot of singles groups. I love my church. I love wildlife. I have woods behind me and a creek.
First of all, I hope all of the issues are, I guess, handled is the word that's coming to my head right now. I hope the cancer is gone. My mum has thyroid issues, so I can sort of understand the pain behind that. It's interesting she mentioned she likes wildlife. Yellowstone. That's all I had for that.
Good job, little buddy.
And I have a lot of wildlife, so I enjoy the wildlife. The raccoons, the possum. I don't enjoy the hawks. They try to sometimes get the animals. I have squirrels, birds,
that's nature.
Raccoons, possum, and I just love all of them.
You own them? Is it?
I've got 10 cats, and this one here is trying to get in the picture here.
Who just
That's
laughed?
Lucky. That's the newest edition.
Hold on a second. The newest edition is the laugh in the background. Was it just me who heard that when she said she has 10 cats? Unless the Cave of Delusion is really doing a number on me. I swear I heard someone laugh in the background there. I'm not sure what's going on there.
I got married when I was 18. That lasted about 10 years. And then there was infidelity, so I left him. I was not going to put up with that. Then when I worked as a nurse, I dated one doctor at Duke, and then that didn't work out. Then I dated another one when I worked at UNC Hospital, and they were both neurosurgeons. And then I was engaged to somebody for about 18 years. Very wealthy guy, very handsome guy, but he was exciting. I enjoyed the trips, and
Hold on a second. You might have tripped over your own feet as you fell head over heels there. Married or engaged for 18 years. That's a long time, surely. I don't obviously mean to impose anything onto couples, but 18 years being engaged surely is too long. But I guess every relationship is different. Let me know your thoughts in the comments. I wonder why they didn't get married sooner. That's interesting. So,
enjoyed the money he spent on me, but it just didn't work out.
Editing H here, just chiming in because in the moment I didn't really clock what she was saying, but now I've heard it. What in the smokes is she talking about? For 18 years they were just going on trips. She was in. Yeah, the police can go past because this is criminal in a sense. She was just enjoying the money spent on her, but then it didn't work out. And she said nothing concerning personality there. It was just, I enjoyed the money being spent on me, going on trips, blah, blah, blah. What? Like, that, I think, is crucial context for the rest of this story. Because there's a lot of mentions of greed, obviously the celebrity aspect here, holding out for a freaking little bit of moolah and a nice house and whatnot. So I think it's crucial she mentioned that. Very important context, but let me know your thoughts. That doesn't sound like a real relationship to me. I don't know. Let me know.
So I haven't dated anybody for about 10 years now.
With Shelley not being able to work and no family around, she began to spend the majority of her time on social media.
I was on Instagram and I'm on Facebook, and I joined some Kevin Costner clubs, and he approached me July 7th of 2024.
He just didn't.
He said, Shelley, you're following a lot of Kevin Costners. I'm the real deal. I said, how can you prove that? He said, well, I'll show you a picture of who I'm with right now. Her name was HELEN. And so I looked on her Facebook page, and indeed she was with Kevin. And I said, are you dating her? He said, oh, no, she's younger. She's visiting here. Her and her family are renting Dunbar Ranch. He owns a ranch there that he rents out. So we started out as friends.
Even though Shelley told Kevin she wanted to be friends, the relationship eventually blossomed into something bigger.
Hold on a second. You can smile all you want, mate. Is Shelley's picture on the left here, is that the picture she uses on social media? Because I'm sorry to burst any bubbles. That's just not who you are currently, is it? So you're catfishing yourself, but also Kevin. No one is going to reach out to you, right, celebrity-wise, asking you, hey, I'd love to get to know you, or it's a pleasure to meet you and whatnot, just because you follow a lot of fan pages, all right? Get a grip of yourself. Just because you think you're a fan. No, you're a small air conditioning unit. Watch yourself before I turn you off. That sounds oddly morbid. There's no real meaning behind that. Other than, your brain being switched off or something. There's a joke there somewhere. But genuinely, can we please, everyone, I urge you, you might follow a lot of celebrity fan pages and whatnot. You might very well be heavily invested. I do urge, though, if you are someone who maybe becomes a bit too obsessed over certain celebrities and whatnot, I hope you can work on that to tone it down, because at the end of the day, they are people. They are not some higher being or whatever. But no one's reaching out to you. I just really want to emphasize that. And it's a shame that Shelley here seemingly just went along with everything. One picture was enough to be like, goodness, this is the real deal. No. Deal or no deal? No deal. Close that box.
This is great banter.
As we grew closer, he had begged me to come visit him in California. So then by April, I said, okay, I'm ready to come. And he said, well, you're going to have to pay a meet and greet fee. I said, I don't have the money for a meet and greet fee.
Sorry, you can... She looks shocked AF, and damn right. Hey, babe, I think I'm ready to move to California with you. My manager says you need to pay a meet and greet fee. Manager can do unspeakable things to their asshole and shove all sorts of fees up there. Because what do you mean you want to move in with someone and you need to pay a meet and greet fee? Imagine, is that why the engagement lasted 18 years before? Because you were not willing to pay a meet and greet fee. None of this makes sense so far, but hey, Yellowstone has the old famous geyser. We've got a real formation of IQ here that's overflowing. It could blow at any point here, Shelley. Please, keep your IQ within yourself. No one needs that much intelligence.
And I said, I'm your girlfriend. Why would I do that?
True.
And he said, well, look, when you come here, you can move in with me. And I told him, I said, I'm not on a shack-up job. I could rent one of your houses maybe. He said, yeah, I do have houses. And he gave me the names of the towns, Montecito, Ventura. And he said, you could rent a property there if you wanted to till we get married. And I said, okay, then if you're not going to pay my way, how am I coming there? He said, I fly free with American Airlines, but it's a risk because I inherited those benefits. You fly standby and you don't always get on a flight.
I don't know what's happening right now.
He said, well, I'm paying child support quite a bit, like $60,000 a month. And he said, why can't you just pay your way? And he said, you were a former nurse. I said, I'm not working right now. And I said, I had 4 surgeries this year.
Being that Shelley didn't want to be in a relationship in the first place, she wasn't about to put up with Kevin's games.
Except she is. The fact she's entertaining the conversations is her putting up with the games. That picture as well is also not Shelley currently. What's going on here? I feel like we're dealing with two catfishes here, and that's too much for my heart to handle right now. I really don't understand how someone is believing that a massive celebrity, child support or not, I'm not going to sit here and act like I know Kevin Costner's life like the back of my hand. Do you know what I mean? I'm not Shelley. I don't understand how she thinks he can't afford a plane ticket. How much are plane tickets nowadays? I don't fly, and it looks like I'm never gonna fly if a celebrity can't afford them. It's sad to see, as much as, we do like to keep things as light-hearted as possible. It's sad, when celebrity cases are a thing. I just have to wonder, like, what's happened? Are you that desperate for a relationship that you're willing to compromise your frickin', well, I say intelligence. We don't know if Shelley was really intelligent to begin with. I'm sorry if that's harsh or not, but, it's sad to see people just jeopardize their well-being in general when it concerns these celebrity cases. Because meet and greet fees, do you know what I mean? And obviously it's sad when it's non-celebrity cases as well. But I feel like the celebrity cases, they take things a bit further. I feel like there have to be a skit. I'm being pranked or something. Get Minuscule Circle out the Cave of Delusion. I'm being punked.
So she decided to block him.
Oh, good.
So
Actually,
he texted me and he said, "Why did you do this to us?" I said, "If you decide you want to meet me, you call me. Until then, I'm leaving you alone and I'm ending it." And
oh, good. If you want a piece of me. I don't know what's happened there. We've turned the situation into a metaphorical cake. This cake tastes like shit, Shelley. I'm really sorry to say that. Maybe the raccoons have got their hands on the cake, because you don't want to touch this cake.
Yeah, boy.
he just was very distraught and said he was upset.
How did he reach out to
I'll
her?
do whatever I can then to get you here. I said, "Where am I going to stay?" He said, "With me."
Okay, I feel like we're going around in circles here. Like the circles on a raccoon's eye. Oh, this is so shit. Genuine. I'm really sorry for all of this. But seriously, how did he reach out to her if she blocked him? What has happened here?
Mr. Krabs, I am so confused.
And he said, "And when you get here, we can always go to my cabin in Colorado, too." He said, "I'd love for you to see that."
Is that Yellowstone?
At that point,
I don't know, man.
He said, "Look, can you do me a favor and deposit some checks electronically in your checking account?" And he said, "You can keep some of the money and I'll keep some of it. I need an attorney to lower my child support." So he deposited it at PNC Bank. It went through. They cashed the checks. He let me keep like $300 for my cat's vet bill. And then I sent it back to him, Zelle.
Okay.
Then he wanted me to deposit some more checks in an ATM. And that night when I did it, it was raining and the rain fell on the check and the check started kind of smearing. And I called him. I said, "Is this a counterfeit check? What's going on?" He said, "No." And so the bank called me the next day and said, "Why were you depositing these checks ATM? Why couldn't you just come in?" I said, "It was raining."
What the hell are you talking about?
And they said, "Well, our fraud department's going to close the account." So I said, "But the checks did clear." They said, "Yes, the checks did clear." But they said, "It's just suspicious that, these checks are not in your name. They're written out to a dentist."
Dennis.
Then we went to another bank and they closed the account. They said that check was counterfeit.
Okay, you stop right there. Stop bursting my eardrums right now with boom, boom, booms. Okay, let me just address something here. Like a good salad needs addressing. Oh, this is horror! Again, obviously, as I echo from earlier on, after the first one freaking didn't go through and whatnot, and the bank said it was suspicious, what are you doing? You already had your suspicions it was a counterfeit check in the beginning. Or that might be just you on the interview portion of this, just saying that to make yourself seem, like you knew what was going on. I don't know at this point. But then the second time, bang, forgery. Oh, I'm just going to do it again because you mentioned 20. Third time's the charm. I don't know what 20 equals. And then earlier she said, I didn't want to come inside. It was raining. Is the ATM on the outside? Because wouldn't you then go in because it's raining instead of standing outside on the ATM? Surely that's suspicious. Like maybe there was an inkling of you, allegedly, that knew what you were doing was a bit iffy. So you didn't want to actually see the bank teller themselves. Too much is going on here. And I urge everyone, I always say this, if there's an inkling within you that feels something is wrong, whether or not she believed it was counterfeit in the moment or not, if there is an inkling within you that feels something is afoot, go with that. What's the worst that can happen, you know? The love of your life doesn't want to be with you. If they wanted to be with you, they would. How about that?
Scenario with maybe 3 or 4 other banks. That went on up until June. So then in July, we got into a bad argument.
Please
and I said,
get a
you're
grip.
not Kevin, and I'm going to give these checks to the police.
Maybe a bit late.
He said, you do that. I have your address. I said, is that a threat? I said, what, are you going to come here and kill me? He said, no. If you keep the money from that last check, he said, I'll prosecute you. I said, well, if you have my address, I come from a big mafia family.
What?
They'll protect me. And
This is a skit, man. This is a skit. Surely someone who has mafia in their family doesn't go around just admitting they have mafia in their family. Like, surely that defeats the purpose of having mafia in your family. What is happening here? This is a skit, and I'm being punked here. Minuscule Circle is driving the hugest wedge up my ass because I can't believe anything that I'm hearing or seeing. Is this what it feels like to be recording at 1:30 in the morning? Just everything just doesn't make sense, is it?
so then he really got nervous and
What?
didn't talk to me for about a week. And then I saw on the internet he was in Colorado at his cabin.
So she didn't
He
go
was
to
on
police.
Dunbar Ranch on Facebook. And he said, yes, I'm here, Shelley, and I didn't tell you I was coming. And he said, if you look at that picture that you just sent me, he said, there's 2 guys standing beside me. I said, yes. He said, the one guy, both are bodyguards. He said, I'm having to do that now because you threatened you have a mafia family. I said, no. I said, babe, I was just scared. That's the only reason I said that. So
What is going on? We've gone from I've got mafia in my family to, or even before that, oh, I'm gonna call the police on you. Oh, babe, I got mafia in my family. Don't you dare do anything. You're gonna wake up with a horse's head next to you in the bed. Now we're saying, babe, I was just scared. I don't have mafia in the family. What? Where am I looking? I don't even know. This box of straws. Probably it's being covered by the green screen, maybe. But green? Cheeky Panda, sponsor me, please. Bamboo is better than paper. But you could say she's lost paper in terms of the checks and stuff. Oh, and then Donnie just says, lol, okay.
started laughing and said, okay. So he said, I'll call you right back. And then he wouldn't call. And then did that for a week. And then he said, do you need a babysitter? Do I have to text you 5 times a day? I said, you always text me 3 times a day. Then it was about 11 o'clock at night around July 7th when he got back to Santa Barbara. And I said, where are you? You were supposed to call me 10 minutes ago. You told me you were going to call me at 11. He said, I'm friggin', and he uses the F word a lot. I'm effing 10 minutes late calling you and you freak out. He said, I'm getting tired with this interrogation. And I said, I'm tired because you're being inconsistent. You don't call when you say you're going to lately. And then it was around September 15th that he said, well, if you're going to behave and stop nagging at me and yelling at me, we can go back together.
What do you mean? You're not together at this point, but you're calling him babe. I don't get it. I don't. The neighbors are probably thinking, shut the hell up in there, rat boy, you piece of shit. But I can't, guys. I don't understand what's going on here. Can I just ask, did she go to the police or not? I'm getting the vibe she didn't go to the police. Like, nothing is making sense here. Whether or not she was genuine in believing inklings it was counterfeit checks or not. Then she said she's going to go to the police, but she did none of this. So am I supposed to believe that you care about what's going on here? Like, allegedly there's money laundering going on here, right? And you just don't seem to give a shit about what's going on. You just care about Kevin Costner calling 10 minutes late. There's a lesson there, by the way. Like, maybe I'm reading too much into things. But she seems a bit too, like, clingy. And not in the good sense. Because I believe your partner should be healthily clingy. You know, healthily obsessed with you. They want the best for you. They do things for you, X, Y, Z, right? But she's giving off the vibe that she's doing a bit too much here. Like, even the scammer seems to be... You know, if you get to a point where the scammer, the romance fraudster, is getting tired of your shit and doesn't even want to do their job anymore, goodness me, you must be a nightmare. I'm gonna have nightmares if I ever get to sleep at this point. She's really confusing. Shelley, maybe you've been knocked too many times with the Mario Kart shells. Which one is the bad one, the red one or the blue shell? It's just one of them, really. This is a joke of an episode. How about that?
I said, okay. So we've been getting along pretty good. And then about 3 weeks ago, he said,
Great.
You're going to have to pay a meet and greet fee, and then we will let go of the $50,000 for you to live in my property. And he said, all you have to pay is $5,000.
How does that make sense?
That's going to cover your meet and greet fee, your plane ticket, your relocation fee to move to California.
Now that Shelley and Kevin were back together and planning her move to California, he began asking her to deposit more checks.
I did it with my bank I've had for a long time, and they cashed the check for $1,500. He let me keep $200, and I gave the rest back to him. And they closed my account, so I couldn't send it Zelle like I did the last time.
How about
so
that?
I sent it in Apple Cards.
Yeah, sure.
They said that they just felt like it was really weird that he couldn't send the money Zelle, that he had to deposit the money electronically. He said, I can't do that because he said, I'm a celebrity, they'll know my name. He never signs the checks with his name. It's always like Hugo Martinez, Paul Giovanni.
The first time Shelley got caught depositing Kevin's checks, she only got a slap on the wrist. But this time, things got much worse.
Good.
The issue is the banks are investigating this, the fraud department.
Good.
And once all this gets investigated, I probably am going to have to pay that money back to the bank. My attorney, who's one of the best criminal attorneys in town, he said there's a 50-50 chance it could be Kevin Costner.
Really?
And I said, but I do believe it's Kevin. He said,
she said, shut the hell up, what everyone is saying. My voice went also in complete different directions there. And that's rightfully so, because you were leading me down this path with your attorney friend. But I have to go this way, because I'm sorry, your attorney... Oh, that's right. They're located on Sesame Street because 50-50 chance it's Kevin Costner. I ain't paying a dime to this attorney if that's the kind of bullshit they're going to be feeding me. What is going on here? This is a skit. This commentary shit. This episode just feels like a joke. I don't have a clue what's going on here. So if any of you have a Scooby, I need the TT to do up their best Scooby Gang impression and let me know what the hell's going on in the comments, because I really am struggling to believe that this is a genuine human being. She is a social experiment, bro. She's been hired or something. Just say your attorney is the best in town. If this is the best in your town, I don't want to ever see what the worst looks like. There is no sleeping after this. Let's be honest here. I'm sorry. That back alley in Temu warehouse, they're spitting out top-notch attorneys. How about instead of a attorney, we've got a Z attorney here, because they are shockingly shit.
It might be. But he said, if the fraud department makes you pay those checks back, you still could be prosecuted. If they deem them that they're counterfeit.
Maybe that's the best thing for her.
While knowing there's a possibility
Go jail.
This might not be the real Kevin Costner, Shelley refused to believe otherwise. But he made it clear being part of his life will cost her.
He told me last night we had a big argument. He said, if you don't want to pay the $5,900, you can pay $1,500.
What a discount.
And he said, if you can't get that money up, then he said, you've got a problem. And he said, if you want to move in with me, you want to marry me, you get that $1,500 up. And he said, if that means me depositing another check, or you just pay it somehow.
What is
And he said,
happening
you're
here,
going
man?
to have to come up with that money. I said, you know, I don't pay to meet men. I said, gigolos do that. He said, you know,
I don't even know what that
you're talking to a
is.
celebrity. He said, do you realize who you're talking to?
Ooh.
And I said, you're a child of God, just like I am and everybody else is. I said, you know, a celebrity doesn't mean anything. I said, you know, I dated a neurosurgeon, and they went to school for 12 years. That's something you never did. I said, you might have a bachelor's degree, but that's it.
What is happening here?
I said, you don't have the status they do. You're famous for being, you know, an airhead actor. You're not a you know, a physician.
What is happening here, man? Like, now she's descended into this rant. You know, obviously I said similar, not in the freaking same way, let's get that straight. Celebrities are just human beings. You shouldn't hold them to any kind of pedestal, right? But I know people do, obviously, given their, you know, how much they are in your face and stuff. People kind of attribute them to being more than regular, but yeah, they're not. They just have that fame, which they may or may not have even wanted. I don't know. Well, that's besides the point. Now she's calling him an airhead celebrity, right? You are following fan pages before this. So where is all of this coming from? If this is your opinion, why are you now bringing it up? Why are you following fan pages then if he's just an airhead celebrity? I'm so confused here, man. It's given, you know, it's been a while I've said this. It's giving HELEN University. It's like she sort of maybe realizes this is all a scam and whatnot. So she's trying to save face here. Yeah, look, I knew it was a counterfeit check. I told him I'd call the police and then did nothing about it, might I add. He's just an airhead actor. You're not a physician and what? Yeah, but what are you doing here, right? By the way, I don't know if this is really relevant, but just because you are a physician or, someone with sort of a high status job, right? It doesn't mean you're better than everyone else. That's the vibe I'm getting she's sort of exuding here. Just because he's not a neurosurgeon or something. Oh, you're nothing. And just because someone goes to school for 12 years, by the way, doesn't make them also better than anyone else. But I feel like too many things are being said here. I don't even know what to freaking hone in on. I'm like a worms missile. Who remembers those games? The worms, Donnies? I'm there. Oh, but I've gone that side now because she's chatting a bunch of shit.
On top of the emotional stress Kevin is putting on her, Shelley is feeling the pressure from the financial bind she's now in.
That bank closed out my account. All the other 5 banks closed out my accounts, and I'm having a problem opening a checking account. Yesterday.
Good. How about that?
Systems has a marker on me now, and I don't know why. They told me to write them in writing. Why I'm not allowed to open a checking account anywhere. I'm worried about it. I started smoking again. I'm not worried, and I shouldn't be smoking. And I'm having a problem sleeping, and yeah, I'm very depressed. Crying spells a lot. But I am almost positive it's him. He said, "You are my fiance. We are engaged, and we are going to get married."
As I was saying earlier, try and keep this lighthearted as possible, but sometimes you just have to address the fact of how sad this is. I really hope she can get professional support in cutting out the smoking, because that's obviously not a healthy way to cope with trauma. The non-sleeping thing, I freaking don't sleep, but we're living very different lives here, let's be honest. She's going through a lot more than me. I hope she can seek professional support with that, because what she's doing to herself, not only is she detrimenting her future financially, because if banks don't even want to work with you anymore, I understand it though, do you know what I mean? But of course you have to convince checks systems, which just sounds fake, by the way. It probably is real, which obviously it is, but it just sounds fake. Obviously, they're going to have an issue. Why do you seem so shocked about that? But, yeah, well, okay, we're steering way off the path here again. Sorry, I was heading down Sesame Street to meet the attorney. I hope she can get support that she needs, because not only is it financially harming her, but as we can see here, mentally, it's putting a strain on her as well. But it's wild to me. Western, Yellowstone, wild. That she still thinks it's him. This is really sad. I obviously don't know the full story, but her marriage ending with her leaving because of the cheating. Good, you stood your ground. But then, what's going on here? We have to attribute the greed aspect here because it's a celebrity. And that's why, I believe you're sticking around. But let me know your thoughts in the comments. But I do hope she can seek support for the depression, because it's not going to get better by smoking,
But he told me last night and today, you don't pay it, it's over.
Yeah, well, let it
Stick
be
around
over.
until the end, Seekers. We'll pull back the curtains to reveal if Shelley has fallen in love with the real Kevin Costner.
Oh my God.
I mean, I can't believe, as educated as I am, that I got involved in something like this. I mean, it's almost like he just has full control of me. It's really weird.
This might seem harsh, but it's online. I know. There is manipulation. But it is online. I also want to bring back the Helen University aspect, because I feel like there was no need for her to say, oh, as intelligent as I am, blah, blah, blah. Why do people say this? Just accept that you've been a fool, all right? I know it's cost you a lot of money, probably. But it's better to just admit, in my opinion, your mistakes, acknowledge your freaking,
Are you high or just incredibly stupid?
Thankfully, I acknowledge the fact that I can barely speak English in most of these commentaries. Acknowledge the fact that you've made some serious boo-boos here, and just take accountability. I feel like that's the best way to make yourself, at least in the context of these videos, going online, viewers watching you and whatever. I feel like that's the best way to at least sort of make yourself seem in a better light. You've been a fool. It doesn't mean you have to be a fool forever. But when you say things like this, it stinks of arrogance, Who questioned your intelligence? Other than me, this whole video, to be honest. But if you didn't say things like this, I'd be a little bit more understanding, I'm not a monster, guys, alright? I love how we both got a similar hat, though. Yeah, that's,
How this person has control over me.
If you like this video, please consider subscribing.
Go do that.
And once you've done that, give this video a like too.
Hey Seekers, if you're only following us here, you're missing half the story.
Follow Catfish online on Instagram, TikTok, and Facebook for updates and content we don't share on YouTube.
Go do that.
If you're looking to contact us and you think you might need our help finding out who you're communicating with online, or maybe you need help breaking through to a friend or a family member, don't hesitate to reach out to our email, sharemystory@socialcatfish.com. We can help you find the answers you've been looking for.
Feels like
we got some work to do.
Feels like it's been long.
Myself and
since
David
I've
and
seen
Brianne sat down to go through Shelley's case.
Wow, so she really thinks that she's in a real relationship with Kevin Costner?
Yeah, I talked to her the other day and she says she's 90% convinced that this is the real Kevin Costner. He helps her pay for her cat food and she's in love with him. So she had been receiving checks from various people and he had stories as to why he was sending these checks, and she was allowed to take a portion of the funds. And so when she would take the funds, she would pay for the cat food.
The biggest issue to me is the banking stuff. So what's going on with that?
As of today, she's been through 20 different banks.
I can't stop
Yeah.
head jerking.
You're gonna get whiplash, mate. again, surely after the first bank account denies you, closes the account, whatever, is alarm bells not ringing? Like, I'm struggling to hold on to anything other than greed being at play here, because that stinks of greed, right? Oh, I'm gonna open another one just to get this money. Another one. It's too much.
I legit can't stop head jerking. 20 banks?
20 different banks, and right now she doesn't even have a checking account.
Forget that. Let's check something else. Head jerking? You guys know I'm freaking immature as hell sometimes. Head jerking. That's very inappropriate. We like to say get a grip here.
Oh, brother, this guy stinks!
And she's 90% certain this is real?
Yes, 9 out of 10 are her exact words.
So she's dealing with a bunch of banks, fraudulent checks, and she still believes this is Kevin Costner. Why?
So she mentioned that when he reveals information to her, it's right before it's been publicized. To help her feel like this is more believable and that this is the real Kevin Costner, she has an attorney friend she spoke to about it, and they're claiming it's a 50-50 chance that this is really Kevin.
Huh?
All right, so look.
Just fire whoever that
Let's
is.
take a step back.
Let's actually do that. I don't know if she's actually hired this attorney friend or not yet, but genuinely her circle doesn't seem to... we'll say doesn't seem to be flowing with the most common sense. That's the nicest way I'm gonna put this, okay?
Like, what can we do to like actually help her out? What facts do we have that we can research?
Well, she's claiming that these checks are coming from people that Kevin knows. A simple verification check about his management team, who's in his inner circle, so we can securely tell her, hey, look, these people are associated to Kevin or they're not associated to Kevin.
Right.
And also we should create an IP tracker just to see where this person's located.
Yeah, the IP trackers for the celebrity stuff is always like the go-to, because if we can show they're in a separate location, it's a lot easier to have that conversation with them.
All right, so it sounds like you got a pretty good game plan
You'd
on the
hope
research
so.
stuff. I have a strong idea of where this is all headed, though.
Same here, but like we still have to present the facts. And I mean, we have to come with like concrete evidence. Like whenever we've run into these cases, like they're so convinced that these people are real,
England?
that they're really talking to the real person.
Hold on a second. Kevin Costner lives in England. Is that real? Or is that just randomly been put there? England is my city, as someone once said, as a meme. I also said she was from North Carolina. There's a wrestling reference I'm going to make. Obviously, if you know of the Hardy Boys, maybe she's fallen off of a ladder one too many times. Because what the hell?
And unless we come with concrete evidence, it's going to be difficult convincing them otherwise.
Sounds like a plan. I need to get on a call with her right away and get more information about these checks.
All right, cool. Let's get to work, y'all.
All right.
After coming up with a game plan on how to break through to Shelley, the next day Brienne got on a call with her to get more context on these mysterious checks she's been receiving.
Well, thank you for meeting with me. I know you're not feeling well. I want to just get to the point very quickly here. I know that you had reached out to us about Kevin. How is Kevin? When's the last time you spoke to Kevin?
He didn't text me all day yesterday except for one sentence. And he said
Can I
he
have
wanted
money?
me to deposit some checks in my bank electronically. He did. I said, okay. He said, you can keep some of the money, and which I did. Not a whole lot, but it helped with my cat's vet bills. I do have a check here that he sent in the mail.
You didn't cash it?
No.
Oh, why hold on to this one but cash the other ones?
He deposited the other ones electronically.
How much is that check?
$3,000, I think.
Could you send those to me today, like ASAP? The sooner you send those to me, the sooner I can look into everything.
Yeah, I'm worried I'm going to go to jail because a few other banks, the checks did not go through. The last bank was Truist. It went through, but the fraud department's investigating because they deemed it counterfeit, and they told me not to withdraw the money.
Once again, I sound like a broken record here. I sound like a freaking parrot, but after the first time, why have you continued? Again, the greed aspect, I'm really going to struggle to see anything else other than that. Because especially you seemingly are worried to go to jail, but you're still in contact with him. Nothing makes sense here, man.
So I went ahead and withdrew the money, and I got a letter saying that I should not have withdrew the money. They're investigating now.
You just got
So
told
I hope I
not to
don't
do
go
it,
prison. I'm
did
worried.
it.
I'm scared about this.
I want to perform an online investigation. Kevin's not going to know I'm doing this. I want to get an idea of his management team and people he's associated with. I want to verify that and compare it to the people that you have been receiving checks from. Does that make sense?
Yes, there's another Kevin that's been texting me on Telegram.
Oh my
ironically,
God.
The same time frame.
Whoa. How many Kevins are you talking to
7.
right now?
Right now, 3.
I want to look at the Kevin that you came to us for first, but I will look at the other accounts as well.
No, that's correct. No, just no. No. How dare you sit there and say, for whatever, something shitty about your intelligence, and you're speaking to 3 Costners. Yeah? They're costing you a lot. How about that? I don't understand anything that's going on, but genuinely, I feel like I've said that so many times. I don't know what else to say here, really. It's now 2 a.m., so am I ever going to get sleep? No, because this episode will not let me. It will haunt me forever.
Problem. I want to just collect everything I can from this Kevin here that you have the strongest connection with. And if you have the names of the people that have sent you the checks, who you transferred the rest of the funds to, any of the recipients there, I just want to verify that these are his close friends and they're tied to Kevin Costner in some way.
That was a thought of mine.
No,
My
it
lawyer
wasn't.
Friend,
Shut up.
Said there's a 50-50 chance it could be Kevin Costner.
Then
the former DA is a good friend of mine. He was our high school president, and we were at our high school reunion the other night. Well, about 2 weeks ago. He said it wouldn't surprise me if Kevin Costner was involved in something like this.
Okay. So as of today, your beliefs are this is still the real Kevin.
That attorney needs to be fired from their job. The former DA, right? Hey, I'm not one to question authoritative figures, right? But you're a former DA for a reason here. Goodness me, thankfully you're not in charge of any freaking authority anymore. What's happening here? This is a skit, right? I'm being punked. Like someone's gonna bust through there with a camera saying, "We got you." Who knows that show? What would you do? Is that what this is? Hello?
Out of 10, I'm going to say 9 it's him, but there's always that chance that it's not him. Like I'm on Instagram and I probably have 10 Kevin Costners per day trying to add me on Instagram. I'm on Facebook. I have joined a lot of the fan clubs.
My goodness.
And a lot of them will message me and say, I'm the real Kevin. They make videos. It looks like Kevin, but it's that A1 stuff.
You're joking.
You know, isn't it that there's like this technology now that they can send a video and it looks like him?
What? A1? No. A4 pieces of paper. How about that instead? What is happening? I love the fact that you spoke so highly of your intelligence, but the I in AI doesn't start. It's A1. I don't even have words of what's going on here. I'm being pranked.
I'm sorry. I can't handle this. Yeah, so I wouldn't know until we look into it. So we have the ability to do that for you.
We're not going to correct her.
So as soon as we get off this call.
As soon as you get off of this call, how about before you get off of this call, you tell her it's AI, not A1. What are you talking about?
As much information that you have, shoot it over to me. And then I can start digging, and this will help us verify which Kevin is the real Kevin, right?
Oh my God, what?
Okay. I mean, I can't believe, as educated as I am, that I got involved in something like this. I mean, it's almost like he just has full control of me. It's really weird.
Okay, yeah, we heard that bit before, but, if you ever needed a sign, as I was saying earlier, just because you study for 12 years don't make you better than anyone else. Well done, education. You're getting a really bad look here, all right? I don't appreciate Bree saying we'll find out which one is the real Kevin. None of them are. Do you know what I mean? That's sort of feeding into her delusion, in my opinion. But let me know your thoughts in the comments. I would have phrased that in a different way. Sort of, hey, we'll look into these Kevins for you, but I'm telling you from now, even before having the evidence, it's not real, but we will give you the evidence to confirm that. Just so that she doesn't get in her mind, oh, they'll find out which one is the real one from these 7 million Kevins.
How this person has control over me.
I'm hoping to
Greed.
get you answers as soon as possible. If you could please just, in this time, do not send or cash that $3,000 check.
If she don't listen to banks...
After Shelley had sent over the additional information about the checks, the research team got to work looking into everything regarding this Kevin Costner profile. A few days later, David and Brienne sat down with Shelley to give her the truth.
Happy Monday. Great to see you, Shelley. This is David.
So how are you feeling? I mean, leading up to this, like, how are you feeling about everything?
Normal, not sad or happy. Just I've been feeling anxious for a long time, but I wouldn't say like I have in the past. I was very anxious in the past.
Just to fill David in quickly here, last time we spoke, you said you are a 9 out of 10. This is Kevin.
The reason I say that, he knows every move Kevin Costner makes. I mean, every move he makes. I mean, he'll tell me where he's going before it's even on Facebook or anywhere.
Well, let's jump into things because I think we have some interesting stuff for you. So let's talk about like the first set of information you sent over. So you're talking to who you think is the real Kevin Costner, and you're using an email, fieldofat@gmail.com.
Yes.
We looked that email up, and so one thing that's interesting, Shelley, is like everybody leaves a footprint online, right? So if I was to look up your email right now, we could see like what accounts you're associated with. In fact, let me show you exactly what I'm talking about.
Oh my.
So if I look up your email address, okay? I'm looking right now, I literally just pulled up your LinkedIn account, and then there's a picture of you maybe with like a grandchild, right?
Yes.
And then an Instagram account, you have a Quora account, you have a Redfin account, a Disney account, Venmo, New York Post, ESPN.
Nextdoor.
Nextdoor.
All right,
Page 6. I don't know what that is. It's a news. And then a Pinterest account. So literally, and a PayPal account. Is that all accurate?
Yeah.
So we pulled up this person's email address, and there was nothing associated with it. Nothing. Not a name, not a website, nothing. Which means that the email was just created and it's only used to talk to you.
Only to talk to me?
So the only thing attached to this email address is the WhatsApp, and that's how you're talking to this person. Why would nothing be attached except for a WhatsApp account, and that's the only way you're communicating?
Because Kevin Costner's discreet, guys. He said that earlier on. Shh.
Because he's a celebrity, he said. He doesn't want, he doesn't give his actual email.
I was correct.
He said he was just using that to communicate with me because he's a celebrity. And
Okay, but would you open up an email just to talk to someone?
if I was a celebrity, I would.
What are
But
you
your significant other,
saying?
you wouldn't give your significant other a real...
Do you know what I mean?
When he gave me that email, I didn't know him, but I just met him from, that was day one.
Well, you've been talking to him for 18 months, and he hasn't given you his valid email address. He hasn't sent you any pictures of himself.
No.
Well, let's go through the next stuff. So that's just one thing that we saw, okay? And it's a red flag, just being candid with you. It's definitely a red flag. The other part is the phone number. So we looked up this phone number. The only thing about this phone number that it's a number in Covina, California, but it's a VoIP phone number.
Oh.
Scammers aren't exactly calling from their personal cell phones. Instead, they use VoIP numbers, which stands for Voice over Internet Protocol. To most people, it looks like a totally normal number, which is kind of the whole point. But here's the twist. VoIP wasn't invented for shady business. Millions of regular people use it every day. It's cheaper than a regular phone plan, works everywhere from Wi-Fi, and allows you to run a whole business without carrying 3 phones. So while normal folks use VoIP to stay connected, scammers use it to vanish into the digital air.
We have 2 pieces of information.
How about this information? I liked that. It's been a while, I think. I not too long ago recorded a commentary on an older episode where they included information a little bit more about what's going on regarding, you know, what the scammer's using and whatnot. So I did like that because obviously most of us probably watching this knows what a VoIP phone number is because you know, we watch these videos or you just know of it anyway. But like new viewers and stuff, that's educational, I think. So I appreciate that being included.
Didn't ask.
Email address and a phone number, and there's nothing connected other than a WhatsApp account.
Okay.
So let's talk about that email that you had received from the FBI. So I did some digging.
All right. First of all, it says, "Good day, Miss." She is not married, right? So that's just wrong in itself. Is this real? Surely not.
I looked at the FBI email itself. When we ran a search on the email, there was nothing connected to the actual email. And this is supposed to be a verified FBI email, correct? This was
I think that's somebody pulling a prank on me. I'm intelligent enough to know that.
Oh my, I feel like I'm being pranked here. Shelley, all right? You stop saying your intelligence levels. Stop it.
I emailed them back and I said, if the FBI wants me, you know, they'll come to my front door. They're not going to be emailing me.
True.
When I looked at the document, it stated that Special Agent Dean Phillips was on the case. Just so you know, with that document, we were able to validate that Special Agent Dean Phillips is an actual person, and he truly did work out of the Denver office for the FBI. He now works in the division from the headquarters in Washington, D.C. So whoever created this document photoshopped it.
Yeah, that makes sense because I used to work in law enforcement many years ago, but I know how they operate. If they want you, they're going to come to your front door.
I've got the title of the video, Helen University. It has to be included somewhere, maybe in the thumbnail or something. It might be niche to people who don't know anything about us over here, but this is Helen University. I did this. I worked here. I'm intelligent. I knew this. Shelley, I'm really sorry to hear about everything you've been through and the depression that you said you were going through. But you're really making it difficult to sort of have sympathy for you outside of that, right? Everything you're doing, it does scream a bit of arrogance. I don't know. Let me know, of course, in the comments. We don't know her full story. I don't know if she was like this before her depression or just after. But she needs professional support, in my opinion, to address these things. Get to the root cause of why she is acting like this with Kevin Costner in the first place, but also outside of this scam relationship.
Now, what did you transpire out of? You asked me to send that link to Telegram today. I mean, what was the reason for that?
Because we want to validate where he's located. So we want to try to get him to click on the link so that we can check where his location is at the time that he clicked on the link.
So, I mean, it looks like he clicked from what's called a VPN, and a VPN basically masks your location on the internet so that nobody knows like where you're at.
And so, any VPN providers want to sponsor me? Any of you, please, please.
So the person that actually clicked on this link, the VPN was from the UK. Do you know why he would be trying to hide his location?
No, unless he's a celebrity, because he's a celebrity.
Oh my God.
Or they're somebody that's trying to hide their location.
Does she think like celebrities are ninjas or something? Why would a celebrity need to hide everything? Like, I understand celebrities might need to hide certain things, but with you, their so-called lover, why are they hiding everything?
His name, Shelley, because all these checks were in
He's a ninja.
And even a trust, by the way.
Well, he said he's a celebrity.
He's a spy.
One of the checks was a tax refund, okay? Kevin Costner's worth $250 million. I promise you, Kevin Costner's not getting a refund on his taxes. Do you think he's really getting a tax return?
I don't know.
A tax
Shelley.
return for $2,000?
No.
No,
Right.
he's not.
Yeah.
I'm telling you he's not.
Where
I'm
did-
100% certain he's not.
Where did she work
Other
in
people are sending
law?
you checks also. He's telling you could keep some of the money. He's not sending you money through Zelle.
You're in trouble with the banks. You've had to open up 20 different accounts. None of the banks want you. You don't have a checking account right now.
Do you think the real Kevin Costner, Shelley, would put you through this song and dance to send you like a check for a couple $1,000s?
Well, I believed it then.
what our goal is just to show you the facts, right? But what I'm trying to do is have you see the facts and not this facade, this story that this person's giving you, but from a logical perspective, being able to take a step back and being like, what's really going on here? When you're accepting money from somebody else, they're being scammed just like you are. And when you cash that check, you put it in your bank account, you're taking their money. When you take their money and you use it to spend money on your cats or whatever else, you're stealing their money. When you take the money and you forward it to this person through cryptocurrency or gift cards, you're helping this person steal money. And so you continue to do this, you're literally helping these criminals commit crime.
Yep. And that is why I'm so persistent with, you know, this stance of I'm gonna be firm, and I don't care if you think it's harsh or not, because you have to say it. These people are complicit, allegedly, because I have to say that, are complicit allegedly in crimes as well, right? They think, oh, I've been scammed, whatever, no one's been hurt. But yeah, you have been hurt, of course, but then the people who you're receiving these checks in the name of have also been hurt, and you're funding the scammer's life, bro. And this might, I don't know if this is the first time or not, but it feels like the first time, maybe in a while, I don't know, that they've come out and just said this. Hey, you're freaking complicit here, bro. Like, good. They need to do more of that. I feel like some victims don't understand the fact that they are complicit in alleged money laundering. So I'm glad they've said this. Will she acknowledge this in terms of, holy shit, goodness me? We'll find out.
Well, I appreciate that. You.
Why is the camera here now?
Investing a lot. I invested a long time, and that's energy I could have done something else with. So
what about
I won't have to do that anymore.
The people that have
Do you feel now that you can spot the fakes, like you know the signs and you know how to spot the fakes now?
Yeah, my brothers tried to tell me, I didn't listen to them.
Oh,
it's okay. Sometimes, you know, hindsight's 20/20. As long as you know now.
How are you feeling, Shelley? You seem a little down.
I understand that, you know, now you know, but I've always said it shouldn't take you X amount of money, X amount of red flags, X amount of freaking being told by banks and whatever to realize what you're doing is just shit, you know? I understand maybe you've made one mistake. Look, you didn't know in that moment. But when banks are telling you, when you supposedly are saying, I thought it was a counterfeit, I questioned him, blah, blah, blah. There's a reason for that. Stop it, you know? There's only so much leeway, oh, it was a mistake, can give you, right? If you make one mistake, that's fine, that's life, right? But then, again and again and again, I struggle to believe you're actually learning here.
Well, yeah, a little bit.
What are you most upset about?
Well, that I got lied to.
Oh, not the people that you've stolen the money from?
At some point to
allegedly.
Meet the real Kevin Costner. Just do it in the right way. You know, make sure you follow the real accounts on social media with the blue check mark. You know, follow the band. Well, when he tours again.
Oh, I didn't even know he sings. But that doesn't mean that you're going to meet them. Like, you know, just, she seems the type to believe anything, right? I wouldn't necessarily be telling her, do it in the right way, follow the verified accounts, or you're gonna meet them one day. It doesn't work like that either. Editing H here once again, just chiming in really quickly to add on to this, that she strikes me as the type of person that has unhealthy obsessions with celebrities, for the simple fact, you know, she believed all of this in the first place, but then the whole, oh, you didn't call at this specific time, and she flipped her lid and whatever, she believed it was real in the moment. So telling her, just do it the right way, there is no right way to meet a celebrity outside of meet and greets. Do you know what I mean? Like, if you bump into them in the middle of the street somehow, that's one thing. But because she gives me the vibe of being unhealthily obsessed, we've seen before, actually. I remember a story that gave me really creeped out vibes of this victim who they brought on the person behind the pictures, and she sort of like was a bit stalkerish. She gave off that vibe. I'm not saying Shelley's gonna do anything of the sort here, but the fact that she sort of gives off this unhealthy obsession vibes, you know, when she follows these verified accounts and stuff, I really hope she's not like paying close attention and then going over to wherever he is and stuff. I don't think she's gonna do anything like that, but it's just, oh my goodness, my ears can't take any more of this bullshit, apparently. It's just important to not like blow smoke up their ass, you know? Just because you follow them don't mean shit. Does that make sense?
Follow it and then, you know, try to book the concert and see if you can go see him.
Or, yeah, I mean, I guess that is...
Sorry, Shelley.
Like, you're not going to directly meet him.
It's not easy hearing this information. You've invested 18 months with this person, and they've gotten you in all sorts of trouble with the banks.
I mean, with check systems, you know, I have to write them a letter, and they can explain to me why I cannot open an account. And I don't know if I should respond that I got scammed. I don't know.
Yeah, but you still need to follow some sort of process, right? So you're covering yourself. If you can report this to local law enforcement, then that'll help back up your story even more with the check system and let them know, hey, I filed the report, I'm doing the right thing, and I was a part of this online scam. Because right now, if you're not going to report it, but you're going to tell the check system that you were part of a scam, but you haven't reported anything, it just doesn't make sense.
Yeah, and it doesn't look good for you.
Okay.
All right. Okay, so we'll follow up with you Thursday. We'll put together the report of the research that we found, and then if you have any questions, you have my number.
Okay. Thank you so much.
You're welcome.
Glad we were able to help, Shelley. We'll talk to you later, okay?
Thank you. Bye-bye.
I'm interested to see if she actually took on board everything. So I'm going to check out the live stream. It should be finished by now, right? At this time.
Seekers, it's almost time for our weekly live stream.
Yep.
You can find the link to our live stream on our YouTube channel by...
Go do that. I'm going to go do that really quickly. Probably not watch the whole thing, because look at the freaking time. I say look at it. You don't know. It's 2:23 in the morning right now. Quickly check through it, see what the comments are saying, and then we'll go over to the original video and check out the comments as well for the tantalizing talk section. So I'll see you in a jiffy. Hello everyone, tantalizing talk time. Just came back from my trip to Yellowstone, which unironically I would actually like to go there one day. So, you know, Yellowstone sponsor me. I don't even think that's possible. I checked out the live stream first. Thankfully, I did not sit there waiting because I'm not surprised she did not come on. Ultimately, even though deep down she knows, she still thinks Kevin Costner is after her. The look on her face at the end was her wanting to get rid of you two ASAP so she could go talk to Kevin. This one is in deep no matter how conflicted she is. And she is. She is. It's interesting there. You mention her wanting to get rid of them at the end of the episode there, because the sudden camera switch sort of gives me the vibe she picked up her phone as a way of like, okay, let's start wrapping this up now, shall we? It doesn't surprise me. I got that vibe throughout the video that she really wasn't gonna understand anything, or at the very least, not care. But it's always surprising when when victims don't come on the live stream, because it's like they sort of don't want to face what they've said in the video. Maybe they've watched the video and like, oh shit, I've made myself look like an ass. I ain't coming on the live stream. However, she does make an appearance in the comment section on the original video. If this is genuine or not, of course, we'll get to that. I'm saving that one for the end. That's what YouTubers do, right? The last comment we'll look at is that one. So just bear with me, guys. Sit with me with the waffle for a bit. First off, I love her fighting with a scammer like they're in a real relationship. Obviously, real relationships will have their ups and downs, and sometimes you'll bicker about things. You know, it really grinds my gears seeing these victims argue with the scammer, because it's like, how are you letting an online relationship, someone you've never met in person, how are you arguing about things? What is there to argue about? I mean, the first point of concern here is that you think Kevin Costner wants anything to do with you anyway. But then when money gets involved, regardless, celebrity or not, surely you should run away. I mean, you should. I urge everyone to do that, right? Virtually run away from that interwebs, baby. Don't be caught up in the scammers' webs. Ugh! But yeah, go away. There's nothing to argue about. And genuinely, if there is something to argue about, why are you wasting your time arguing? You've never met this person. Just shut that laptop, turn off that phone, and go touch grass. I think that's a good lesson for everyone, please. Enjoy nature as she does. Go outside. By the way, that reminds me, not really nature, but cats are part of nature. Yeah, kind of. 10 cats? You know, I hope the cats are alright, because I think there was another episode where someone had a lot of, I think it was Joyce, she had a lot of pets, and like, people found issue, and I did as well, or at least questioned if she's able to take care of that many animals. But we'll move on. Eileen. Shout out to TT member Eileen. If your lawyer doesn't even recognize a scammer, I think it's time to get a new lawyer. I don't know if, again, she paid for this lawyer's advice or whatever. She said they were a friend, but please seek real professional support. That lawyer is trying to scam you in a sense. Maybe you will take them as your representative or something, pay big bucks, and they're kind of scamming you as well. So I don't really know what was going on there. The whole time, obviously, I've said it throughout the shitting commentary. I felt like I was being pranked. And she mentioned, oh, is this a prank sort of thing? No, you're pranking me. I refuse to believe you are a genuine human being. Next up, this woman really overestimates, both her appeal and her intellect. Intellect, definitely. I don't know her... We'll leave that in the edit. I don't know her education levels. What's going on right now? It's like I'm choking up trying to discuss her intelligence because the inside of my body can't even fathom what I'm saying. Obviously, she was a nurse and whatnot, so there's a level of education there, but doesn't mean diddly squat. Do you know what I mean? If you're doing stupid things again and again, that's insanity. You're expecting a different outcome, opening so many different bank accounts after they've told you, stop. That's insane. So, obviously, she overestimated her intelligence levels, but her appeal as well, because when she found out, or they said to her, this is not Kevin Costner, blah, 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 the audacity to say, oh, they're still in love with me, though, whoever is behind the profile. Really? How have you come to that conclusion? Because I feel like someone pretending to be someone to speak to you for money, at no point during those initial stages of faking to be someone, do they love you? But sure, if she thinks... she's a great catch, then he can miss me with that catch. Promise you that. Now it pays to be shit at baseball, huh? I'm not trying to catch that. How is she calling him an airhead actor when she's only in a video because an obviously fake account is catfishing her? That's the overestimating herself portion. The airhead actor thing really ground my gears because, you were following fan pages of him. You are obviously a fan of him, but then things don't go your way and now he's an airhead. That doesn't fill me with confidence regarding your in-person relationships either, because if something doesn't go your way or something, do you just disparage the other person? Do you know what I mean? It's important to be wary of people who, when things don't go their way, how do they act in regards to other people. Maybe I can understand, obviously, getting frustrated with people, but when you start using like weird remarks like this, for example, if something doesn't go your way in life and you start cussing out someone, leave me the F alone. Oh, this is a good one I've heard in toxic relationships. Oh, what have you done for me anyway? Oh, this, that. That shows a lot about who you are as an individual, I think, when times get tough, how you handle your emotions and stuff. I'm not saying you have to be perfect, of course. Me, for example, if I've ever been upset or anything, there has been times where perhaps I've been a bit, not hasty. What's the word I'm looking for here? Aggy? I will say aggy with my mum. Maybe I've like kind of snapped like, oh, I don't want to talk, please. But like, I've never cussed her out. Do you know what I mean? I've never made a rude remark. So, yeah. Also, to say airhead actor as if acting is like easy or something, it definitely isn't. So, get a grip of yourself in multiple freaking ways, man. Goodness me, I really didn't like her. I feel like it's not been a while since I've not liked a victim, but I feel like it's been a while since Helen University has made an appearance, basically, in terms of me saying it or bringing it up. Maybe I've signed an NDA, but I've broke the NDA now, Helen University. What are you going to do about it? Very sorry to see what is happening, but her ego is the real problem here. I mentioned the ego aspect, and I think, to be honest, if you think a celebrity wants anything to do with you, your ego is an issue, at least to me, right from the get-go. But let me know your thoughts on that, of course. Next up, this is an interesting one. I've always wondered about this. I want to know how they know about this the Scamfish show, but haven't learned the scammers' techniques. Yeah, I've always asked this. The people who appear on this show obviously have found out about the show in one way or another and have reached out. But, like, I think of it like this. Maybe they didn't know about the show and they came across it maybe when Googling for support or something. But that would mean surely you watched some of the videos when you found the channel. So then in your interview portion, those segments where they talk to the camera by themselves, like, are you not learning anything? And even going forwards when they reveal information and you're still saying things like, oh, but he said this and that. Like, you're not learning? Like, maybe there's not been a Kevin Costner appearance on Scamfish before. But, like, the top videos, some of them are celebrity-based. So, I don't know what these people are watching. Again, she likes to claim that she knew about certain things, but I don't believe it, man. She was just trying to save face. It's Helen University 101. Never take accountability, because that would be the wrong thing to do. Lastly, we'll look at this supposed Shelley. I only noticed it was maybe Shelley because the surname was on the... What's it called? That freaking FBI shit? Which is not real FBI, by the way, but... Tarot Moon 2360 here says, and the name is important here, she, her ego, and her 20-year-old pictures are not very likable. I don't know the exact year of those pictures, but it's not her now, if we're being frank, okay? And then the supposed Shelley says, tarot isn't likable either. That's witchcraft, if anyone believes that crap. I feel like you're focusing on the wrong thing here, Shelley. Someone has called you out for your ego, your pictures, which are catfish themselves, and you've decided to attack something that has no relevance, right? You are being mean for the sake of it, aren't you? Just like how you were being mean to, I guess, the real Kevin Costner by calling him an airhead actor. Like, despite this being a scam and not the real Kevin, you believed it was real, so you aimed that comment at the real one. Do you know what I mean? But regardless, if you believe in tarot cards or the like or not, that comment is just unnecessary, isn't it? Like, I don't believe in certain things, but I don't slander people who freaking believe in them. And I know that might sound hypocritical because this whole commentary I've been slandering Shelley for believing it's Kevin Costner, but that's different. There's context here, okay? Please comprehend it, because I know some people love to just chuck words into my mouth and, oh, but you said this and that. Yeah, but comprehend things, okay? Comprehension is a great thing. But that's the end of this, because it's 2:44 a.m. now. I need to sleep at least some bits before work. I wish this was my work, in quotations, because it's not really work. I've always said that. This ain't really a job, is it? But I'd love for it to be my job, because then I could sleep soon, and then it doesn't matter what time I wake up. So hopefully one day, right? Hopefully we'll get there. But for now, I appreciate every single one of you for supporting these videos. Thank you very much. No thank you to Shelley, because you've pissed me off. And, well, I didn't want this for myself at this time. If it was like earlier, then I would have said, okay. She needs severe help, okay? And the fact that she mentioned depression, I'm going to play devil's avocado here, okay? I don't know if it's genuine depression, because she gives the vibes that she will just say anything to maybe make you feel sorry for her. I don't know. But if that is the case, by the way, have some shame, okay? Get a grip of yourself if you're using depression or any sort of mental illness or mental health struggles as an excuse, right? I see that a lot on social media. You have some shame, each and every one of you who is doing that out there. And if you know anyone who's doing that, distance yourself from them. Maybe if you want to, get them professional support, but distance yourself, because that's, that dynamic opens up abusive doors, because they will just use it against you. Oh, don't do this to me because X, Y, Z. Does that make sense? Okay, I just want to say that. But if it's genuinely, she's depressed, which, by the way, I feel like being depressed, you have to get that diagnosed. I'm not really sure. I don't know if this is harsh or not, but it's okay to feel sad, right? Some people do feel sad, but then attribute it as depression, when depression's like severe, man. Like, you don't want to do even getting up out of bed sometimes when you have depression. So it's okay to be sad, I guess. But in her aspect, if it is genuine, I hope she gets the support that she needs, but also the support that she needs to address root causes. I think, obviously, ego and greed have played a massive part in her holding out for Kevin Costner. But also, it's interesting that, the arrogant vibes that she was giving off, did she really date two neurosurgeons? I gotta question everything at this point, given the fact, how she portrayed herself on camera. But yeah, hopefully you guys learned something from this, and that's there's no Kevin Costner that's going to be erupting in your DMs like the Yellowstone geysers. I feel like I've made that joke too many times now. I'll see you guys next time. Please stay safe online. Please, goodness, protect yourself from your ego. And if you realize you have one, I hope you can keep that shit in check. Take care. Bye. Who knows if she'll be arrested? Maybe that's why she didn't appear on the live. That seems to be a thing from the scammers, right? Oh, I didn't meet you because I got arrested. Maybe she got arrested.